I've got an amazing guest in the building. She goes by the name of Miss. It's not even Miss, it's Ms. I like that. Miss.
Yeah.
Miss Karmali. How are you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very well. It's good to see you.
It's good to be in Nairobi.
Yeah, you've been here for how long?
This time, just a week. But before that, I was here for a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to be here a lot more. The weather is beautiful.
The vibe is amazing, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So where are you from?
I am from Uganda. But I'm also from the UK and I'm also Indian. But I live in Uganda. I'm from Uganda.
Yeah.
I'm Ugandan.
So what side of your family is Ugandan?
The all side.
You know, I've been to Uganda as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so my dad is Indian.
Yeah.
But born and raised in Uganda. And then my mum is mixed. My mum's Ugandan and British.
Yeah. Oh, what part of Uganda?
Central Uganda, so Chagwe, which is just outside Mukono. So we're from town.
So is that like part of the kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. You know, I know I like those vibes.
Like, is that part of the kingdom? Shit, I see now how people be telling other people they're princesses. I'm like, I'm part of the kingdom, guys.
Yeah, even in Kenya, we actually do have a monarchy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Western Kenya, the Wanga Kingdom, I believe. That's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
And how are the Wanga men? What is the Wanga Kingdom about?
So I don't know much about them, but I know the former Prime Minister, the late Right Honorable. Mm-hmm. Apparently, his lineage is also from that kingdom. Okay. But it's Luo. But the Wangas they're Luyas, the Bantus,
right.
you know.
See,
yeah,
but we love
a
a Bantu, so that's fine.
Yeah, I also studied in Uganda, like I was telling you off air. Yeah.
To Kaboja.
Kaboja. You know about Kaboja?
I do know about Kaboja.
Yeah.
Did you get beat at school?
No. I used to beat people.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I used to play rugby.
I know Kaboja is strict. That's what I know about Kaboja. It's strict.
Yeah. Sasa, so welcome. It's good to have you here. Welcome to Nairobi as well. So maybe you can tell folks what you do and why you love doing what you do.
Okay. Well, my name is Ms. Karmali and I am a spoken word poet. And I'm in Nairobi because I've just launched my second album, which is it's kind of like lo-fi friends to lovers story. And I'm here to just see what's poetry in Nairobi.
Yeah.
I have an event in Kampala called Poetry in Session. It's the longest standing open mic night in Kampala. So we've had lots of amazing poets from Nairobi come. Like the main one I would say being Checkmate Middo. He's an amazing artist, poet, beatboxer. And so it's now time for us to like start coming to Nairobi and see what you guys are about. And so, just excited to see poetry and the poets here. That's why I'm here, really. Yeah,
poetry is really big in Nairobi. It's actually a growing industry. And I've hosted a bunch of poets over here. We love to, just meditate on words and that kind of thing. So when did you actually get into poetry?
So I've been into literature since I was a kid, probably like English literature. But actually, when I moved back to Uganda about 17 years ago, we used to have an event called Spoken Truth, which was for MCs to cipher. And then some of us were like, we want to be poets. So we kind of came on stage and did that. And then that's where Poetry in Session kind of came from. So I've been into poetry for a long time, but like making platforms and doing that kind of thing, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a part of my entire existence and like where I've come from. So in Kampala as well, there was like a very small poetry scene, but now it's thriving and growing and it's a place, so many different aspects of it to enjoy, which I want to see in Nairobi, from kids expressing themselves to kind of grown people talking about politics, and then like people like me who talk about ancestral stuff, but also just, something sexy, something different. It's not all about singing sometimes.
I've listened to some of your work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout outs to Binti Africa. She shared with me your work.
Okay, nice.
I think you're so good, and it's so effortless how you go about your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you put a lot of work into it or what?
So I've always loved like performance. So I'm really into curating things and directing things. So vocally, I'm not like a singer, but in terms of speaking, I think I do take a lot of time and attention, and every writer has their own thing. And I think my thing is, I don't know, describing difficult corners or something like that, and making it as easy to listen to as possible. Like, everything all good things come from change, but change doesn't always have to sound like this huge, like ravenous thing that's coming to take you. So, yeah, I work on my voice a lot, and I always try and keep it so that people always feel safe if they listen to my stuff. I hope that people feel safe or carried, not traumatized.
I love that. Yeah. So, and I know there's a bunch of folks who want to listen to your work. Maybe you can drop for us a piece.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah.
My gosh.
I got you off guard.
Okay, we can do it. We're confident. This is our work. We can do this.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what comes up. Anything.
Okay, so I want to pick something that's not got dirty words in it, right?
Yes, fair enough.
Well, I'm asking you.
I mean, that's why I said it's okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm like, so, okay, this one has no dirty words in it, so I'll pick this one.
Sure.
This is the last song off my album.
Yeah.
And it's like the culmination of when you've kind of accepted your person, that awkward moment where everything goes quiet, but somehow you feel peaceful and not awkward or strange or lonely, maybe. And I think a lot of the times we can feel really lonely even when we're with people. So
I agree.
when you hit the spot that you're not feeling lonely, it's probably a good time to stay there a little bit. So this is called Euphoria.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, gosh. All right. Whew, girl. Okay. Euphoria. Let hollowed spirits rest. Night dance into blissful abyss. Stop half-hearted and dip toes into hot springs. Slow dance into mindless whispers. Slur words into blurred lines of fairy tale picture books. Wrap strong hands around fragile bodies and emit heat, slow spreading into metaphoric cocoons. Feign safety. Love me immortal. Second heaven kiss me, cloud mind and spirit with hazy well wishes. Seed me with invisible babes. Roll eyes back into dreamlands. Replace reality for fantasy. Relax and let lungs deflate into rib cages until Play-Doh putty versions breathe osmosis. Reality bleeds haphazard into mental headspace and moist lips consummate. We evaporate into each other's skin. Keep me here in the bandages of euphoria, where lullabies sweep over reality and trickle the fringes of insanity into revelation.
I love
That's one. Is that one good?
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. You have such an amazing voice as well.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, I read your bio and your profile, and you describe your work as rituals of resonance, intimate and transformative. A meeting point between word, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
So what sort of rituals do you usually have before, you curate your work or before you get onto the stage?
Okay, so I think that's two questions. Before I create the work I think that's probably a ritual just in itself. And I think many women, men, like people know these rituals. It's like, what do you do when you bathe and you really think about what you want? When you burn candles, when you're alone. And so one of the pieces on my album is called Bedouin. And I guess that's a ritual in itself. It's like the ritual of succumbing to yourself and asking what's for you and then receiving it in however you speak to your divine God space or stuff like that. And then, I think rituals make themselves, right? So if I find myself lighting a candle, having a bath or different things like that, those are the rituals, that kind of happen. Rituals before I perform, definitely warming up my voice. I'm not a singer, so I sing my ass off for like 20 minutes and just let rip and let my voice get nice and warm like I have today. Yeah, that's probably my routine.
I love it. And you also resurrect hidden stories, so to speak, from your work.
Yeah.
What sort of stories do you feel compelled to tell often?
I think my first album, maybe if I get to share another one, I'll share one of those stories specifically. But so my first album is very much about like being a part of the diaspora and figuring out who you are and how you want to walk. What was the question again? Say again.
Resurrecting, hidden stories, from the past.
I was like, he's using my words against me.
And what sort of what stories do you feel compelled to say often, again and again?
I think, so for my work specifically, I hope my work isn't about telling the story, but it's telling the feeling of my story.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And because my story is not specific.
Yeah.
It's about, our parents who left Africa and took us to other places, and what does it mean to reconnect to those spaces and tell those stories. But I personally don't necessarily try to tell a linear story.
Yeah.
I try to tell the feeling of the story, because I think that's where a lot of us can resonate, like in migration, in leaving your family, in finding home, or who you are via where you've come from, and then, in my more recent work, this album is a love story, obviously. And then in my more recent work, I think just really telling the story of migration. Actually, I think I'm probably an evidence of many places in one person and what it means to navigate that. Yeah. But I don't think I'm alone in that.
What do you mean stories of migration? What feelings do you get when you tell these kinds of stories?
Stories of migration include self-migration, which is probably what does it mean to come home? What does it mean to feel home or identify home when everyone kind of wants to tell you that you're not fully from a place and fully from a place?
Right.
And I think what people like about my work is I reject that. And I'm like, I embody all those places.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to talk me small by saying that I can't migrate through places and spaces and people and own them. But I embody all those things. So migration it's about migration of self, but also the literal migration of black bodies that have crossed oceans just for us to have so many things that just how do we use those things now in a way that doesn't systematically put them down, right? So also that physical migration. What does it mean to be a child of someone who is from a poor village in Uganda who went to England and then put me through school? Now I come back as what? Right? I've understood where I come from, but how do you bridge that? I think that's the migration I talk about.
While you're speaking, I'm reminded of a book by Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's called Lessons of History. And he was talking about Whispers of 1,000 Generations. Yeah, so when you trace your roots, or when you talk about your migration stories, there's a lot of energies that go about that, because you didn't start this whole conversation. There was people who have this similar energies to yours, who can be traced to your bloodlines. Yeah. Do you feel the same? Do you feel like there was somebody who had your exact same energies from somebody from your bloodline who's similar to Miss Karmali?
Karmali. I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
We're always joking that I'm a photographer and a poet, but actually that come from my white side. But I use that as my banner of freedom for my colored side, right? And so we have in my family there's a very famous, she's one of the first Victorian poets to be documented because she was institutionalized for writing too many poems about her lover and her queer family. So I feel like I resonate with her a lot, although I haven't been institutionalized yet. Dreams can come true.
Yeah. So, how has living in Kampala shaped your spiritual, political, social part of writing?
I mean, I don't know I don't know, how do things shape you when you are it? I was born 1986, so I think it's not about shaping, but it's about always being an evidence of the good things from where you come from. Kampala is a beautiful, wonderful place. We've been through so many things. Even war, doesn't take away the spirit of community.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk about. I think, doesn't really matter where, Kampala is my evidence of the one place that's always called me home. I never had to say I'm coming home.
Nice.
It's the place that, when someone comes to pay my bride price, the village is ready. They're like, girl, that girl was crying here for us. You better come and give us our money. So, I don't know how it shapes you when you are it. I think it's more about when you are old enough to be an evidence of the best parts of a place and actively speak out about the things that are uncomfortable without making people unsafe.
Yeah, I like that. Kampala gives me vibes for it has such a Pan-African energy to me. This whole monarchy thing and people kneeling down, and then and even the way people dress in Kampala, you know, and I like it. I like it. So you know, you talk about your work making people feel like they're vulnerable. You know, you create a feeling of intimacy in the room.
Hopefully,
you know,
yeah,
that's good stuff. But how do you do it?
Gosh. Just lay in my bed and think about some stuff.
How do you go about this?
I think it's an energy, and everyone has energy, you know? Like, I've got friends on radio. A lot of my friends, like you mentioned, Binti Africa is my manager, right? She is like literally a ball of energy wrapped in energetic energy.
She's dope, yeah.
All right? And like when she's on stage, it's all about like, it brings you out from your chest. I love to command silence. You know, I love when I can feel people listening. So, you know, I think it's just all about the energy that you want to command. And like, I always think about how I want people to feel. So when I'm performing, it's more about like just getting into a headspace and being like, how do I want people to feel? Like, do I want people to feel intimate? And the answer is always yes for me. So I think that sometimes, and that's the beautiful thing about poetry. Like poets, we can say something a step after a singer can, you know, right? And sometimes it takes a little bit of intellect to actually, and then we're halfway between a singer and a rapper. So you just got to kind of sit there and listen for a second and you'll catch the nuance of it. So silence is one of those things. I think poets love.
Is there like a poet that you wrote that made you feel a bit scared and worried? Maybe because you were too honest.
No, I mean, have you heard my album, the one she just said?
Yeah, I heard a few of them, pieces.
That's a bit on. I don't know if I could get any more honest than that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not really also about me as just me. Like, I love that I have friends and peers and always been someone where people are not afraid to tell me, like, how they're feeling about things. And so sometimes when you reflect on, like, how we all feel the same way, it's not about just describing it. It's about, like, really pressing the nerve of it and just being brave enough to be like, we all feel that sensitive.
I like that. You know, I was listening to an interview with Erykah Badu. She was being hosted in a platform. And then she was talking about how these days she's a bit scared of being on social media and putting her work out on social media. She says the audience these days is a bit too vicious, like they're bloodthirsty. Because, you know, I don't know about the internet streets in Uganda, but in Kenya, these guys are bloodthirsty. They want you to act some type of way. You know, they want you to be disciplined. They can cancel you. What's your relationship with your social media and the internet? Are you okay with just putting out your work, or you're a bit cautious?
I think no. About my work?
Yeah.
Oh no, I would never be cautious about putting out my work because it's the truth. We can't like, if someone's gonna love it or hate it or like criminalize you or cancel you, nah, this is my purpose. So I'm not ever gonna feel that. Like I feel good about that side of things. That if people didn't like it, I wouldn't do it anymore. But yeah, I don't know how I feel. I think me as myself, I've always been a curator. So my Instagram and my social media has always been about me showing people like what I see in other creatives and other poets. So I guess maybe I'm blessed enough not to have experienced that other side of things, and I would hope to continue not to experience that, just because I think, I always want where I am to be a platform that makes other people shine or see. Sometimes people have to say something that is not comfortable. It does not mean they're like a bad person. Like, I hosted my event poetry in session. People come and talk about politics. Everyone has differing opinions. People can come and talk about Indian culture and how they don't like it. It doesn't mean you have to cast and throw that person out. That person has a right to express themselves respectfully. So, I don't really take negative stuff on in that capacity, because I think it usually says more about the people that are saying it.
Yeah.
And anyone who's not going to listen to your work after that. But Miss Badu did also write Fans, Friends, Foes, Def Jam Poetry, that performance.
That was amazing.
So that's one of my favorite ones. And I feel like she's just reiterating what she already taught us about way back then,
And do you think it's a good time for artists in the sense that, there's a lot of, there's too many tools that you can use to enhance your art. For example, AI and that kind of thing. Do you think that's good for art or it's cheapening art?
I think it too shall pass, right? Like, let there be an AI voice. Like, we can hear it, right? That too is going to pass. Like, there's nothing digital that can evoke, I think. Like, there's this album who is it? Protege or someone and Rihanna, and it's fake. It's AI.
Oh, for real?
So I listened to the first song and I was like, this is a jam. This is all right.
Yeah.
When I listen to the next song and the next song, I'm like, Riri's not like slapping. That's not her voice. You couldn't hear the soul in it. You couldn't hear the meaning inside the words. So I feel like let AI do its thing. Like, you're not going to feel the meaning in those. It's going to expire as well.
Yeah.
As much energy as we put into something is what it's going to give us back.
Yeah.
So let's let it do its thing. AI, I'm a fan of AI in different aspects. It's such an amazing way to help advance yourself, cut out a lot of things that are difficult for artists or people in general. But I don't really think it's a threat unless we make it a threat.
It's true. I also feel like these days people actually want proper human connection. Like, people yearn for real stuff,
Yeah.
So,
and the truth is that, like, music has changed so much. Like, commercializing music has changed so much that it's become really dead. And it's just going to become easier to hear the soul in things and stay where you are. We don't always have to put filters on things and stuff like that. I think that that age is going to come and go real quick.
Awesome.
Yes.
I don't know.
Lies.
Yeah.
Look, maybe they kept you locked up in Cambodia. Sorry.
I don't know, man. Like,
sorry.
I'm sure there's vibes in Kampala, but you'll probably tell me where. Isn't it?
Everywhere. Just find a flat piece of ground, a view, and someone with their speaker, and we are always catching vibes.
Has Binti taken you around Vizuri? Has she shown you places? Because I'm not so sure she has.
Well, I feel like I've seen some great reggae spots.
Yeah. You love reggae as well?
I do love reggae. But no, I'm very open to finding out where a girl can sit at a bar, wine her waist, and see some beautiful people.
I'm here for you.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm ready.
Sawa, let's keep it moving now. Oh, yeah, you're going to drop a piece?
Okay, yes. Okay. Yes. Right, this one I'm a bit more prepared. It's less sexy, but I think it tells a story, more about the story where I come from, I guess, or where my perspective comes from. So it's a bit long, is that all right?
That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
It's called Here, There, and Everywhere. So it reads, you came with calloused hands and quiet mouths, feet blistered from the walk between borders, left the soil that nurtured your frame for a wage of freedom on your kin's names. You became echoes in corridors, cleaning walls built to silence your voices. Vessels of labor, you turned your bodies into bridges so that others could create new horizons and dock on golden shores. You gave your backs to factories, your breath to machines, your knees to the floor, clutching rosaries made to make our dreams, forever exhausting your own ability to succeed. Nonetheless, you sang to us, carved lullabies from your grief, entrancing us with languages we were forced to forget and never to speak. Your revolt turned to poetry, embedding your ancestry without apology. Determined, you cooked with ankles that ached. You stirred history into pots, braised survival into broths, and seasoned stews with memory. You turned scarcity into community, passed down spice blends like scripture, each pinch a poem's verse, each simmer a language we could taste despite tongues that could no longer converse. You wrapped histories in banana leaves, fried joy into golden discs. You fed us the homelands, mapping the wealth of your childhood into our taste buds. your resistance to conformity and a slight against their mockery, your recipes of revolution never faltered. Even when you stood at the gates of progress, built by hands just like yours, bent and broken with burdens, you fought their wars for our cause, building our way from tithes of blood and autonomy, so that we could sit uniformly behind desks, soaking in textbooks that omit you from their histories in return for a chance to grasp a fraction of the power they held over you. Our gowns and caps, a trinket of a balm on your clotted sores, seeking to name the pain you've carried without complaint. You could not always say where you came from, language worn thin by colonial teeth, but you could fry it, ferment it, flavor it in vernacular and serve it on a hot plate to remind us we come from somewhere. Outcast catalysts, you bore shame like a second skin, but in kitchens and over combs, you made altars of the ordinary. When in a land that refused to honor your journey, you wove it into ritual, the oiling of scalps, the grinding of seeds, the silence at dawn before the pot boils over. In these you retold our stories, so that now we can return to the homelands you surrendered, hands upturned with stories stitched into our palm lines. We now bear tools of translation and transformation. We come not to lecture, but to listen, building you bridges back from the dreams you gifted us, back to the homelands that cradled you. Forgive us for not seeing your shackles sooner. Forgive us for thinking our freedoms of passport stamps and postcodes were not paved in your cages. We see now the real revolution in your leaving and offer you a return with reverence. We carry your names like seeds, planting them in poems, painting them on fresh walls, spicing them into dishes, and weaving them into braids that will not be forgotten. Here, there, and everywhere, we are the echoes of your sacrifice. We are the stories you are too tired to tell. A promise that the homeland and the horizon will one day hold hands not as strangers, but as kin. So yeah, that's here, there, and everywhere.
I love it. Wow, that's amazing. So I feel like you're talking about the ancestors, the people who started this thing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned outcast catalysts. That's so powerful.
Yeah.
So homeland, where do you feel like is your homeland when it comes to that perspective and how you read that poem?
Yeah, I'm definitely a girl from Chagwe. I'm from the village of Chagwe in Kampala. That's definitely my home. Yeah, I can't really, apart from anywhere my kids are, but
yeah,
that's about the only kind of idea of home that I've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
Or also a place that's like claims me as home as much as I claim it as home.
Yeah. Poetry can be very political, also vulnerable, like you're going to put your heart in your sleeve.
Yeah.
Sometimes you also just imagine worlds. How do you balance all these things?
By making an album and being here with you and talking about it and it's okay to be creative and my brain has always got stories. Like I could make up a story any time of the day, right?
Yeah.
So having a way to channel it and having a way to communicate yourself, that's it. That's what all creatives need. Like just push it out of your body in whatever way it comes out and keep doing that until it feels better and it feels right.
Yeah.
That's what I do, guys.
What's the biggest change you've seen in poetry or spoken word in East Africa over the last couple of years?
Oh, gosh. I don't know about in Kenya, but in Uganda, it's like poetry, poetry, poetry.
Yeah?
Today we went and said a poem. Every day rain, 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 rain. Every day rain. When it rains in the morning, when it rains in the evening. So I feel like we used to have a very generic understanding of how to present poetry and recite poetry. And I think in my career, because I've been in the poetry industry, let's say, for a good 15 years. And especially in Kampala, I think what's really beautiful to see is poets actually performing in their own styles, like stopping to mimic other people's styles.
Yeah, I like that.
And we do have poetic like pardons, like rhythms and stuff that we use.
Yeah.
But it's like make it your own now. And I think that's something that's like fun. And I'm an evidence of that, right? Because I've combined like lo-fi sounds and poetry to make my own style. And I think I'm definitely a part of that generation of change and like kind of figuring ourselves out.
Yeah, I like that. So, first of all, have you got a mentor, somebody that you admire, like an icon, and you're like, I want to be like that person?
I don't really have a mentor or like an icon because that sounds so bad. Because I just feel like I want to be my own icon.
No, fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, but I would say that there are like, I'm someone I respond. You know, so Shaka Campbell, definitely a poet I respond to. I think a lot of my work is a response to that kind of level of intimacy or politics. Like he's an amazing poet. But also probably, like, you know, not to sound cheesy, but it's like I come from the school of Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if I'm not speaking on a level that's both articulate and interesting, like in my own field, then I'm not doing that justice.
Yeah,
you know?
I can tell now that you mentioned Maya Angelou. You know, I feel like your art is so spiritual.
Yeah,
that's similar.
But hopefully not spiritual in the way of like telling people what to believe in.
Yeah, it's true. So, you know, there are many up and coming poets all over East Africa, Africa as well, because we've got a bunch of listeners in the diaspora as well. And they're looking up to you and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. What sort of advice would you give them while they're starting out and, you know, they're hoping to make this like
What advice would I give you? I think the advice I gave myself, which is the right time, not everyone's time. You know, like, write your poetry, figure out what you like and what you want to sound like.
Yeah.
Don't just jump onto every person that says, oh, this is cool, like, let's do that. Like, stop, think, listen, like, figure it out and just make it.
Yeah.
And then don't really care about who's going to like it or listen, just because you're like, as a poet, it's not like being a singer where you want everyone to relate to you. Like, we're not supposed to be, you're just supposed to say it, and everyone who resonates, they're going to come to you. So, and I wouldn't necessarily say that to singers or something like that, but if you're a poet, like, make it, know how you want to make people feel. Make sure whatever you're putting out into the world exactly embodies how you want people to feel when they listen to it. And then don't think about it. Like, let people start coming. Your people will come towards you.
It's interesting you put it like that. So when you're curating your work, do you write for yourself first or for the audience first?
Oh, no, I don't write for anyone. I just write. Then I read it and I say, that's part of a story.
Yeah.
Or not. Because my album actually includes work. It's interesting. It's like Brown Skin Melting is the first poem I ever read and recited ever.
Right.
Like 17 years ago. And then that story is just unfolded now. Right? So it's not about pushing the work out. Do you want to create a story? Create that story. Like, hold those pieces and create that story. Or is it about just getting the feeling out? Well, then let your stuff out as soon as it comes, right? But yeah, hold yourself to because I don't write with anyone in mind. That's like, I've written what I've written because that's what came out. That's,
you know, I like how you're also sort in touch with your ancestry and, you know, the past migration, you know, the diaspora and that kind of thing. So and I usually ask poets this question. So when you're curating your work as an African, for example, we do know there's a lot of historical injustices that happen to our ancestors, right? So when you're going to perform these things to an audience, are you aware of the feelings that your words could actually put in people? You know, you try not to touch on certain topics, because the truth is, For example, how Europeans talk about the Holocaust. You know, they like confronting the past. But I feel like in Africa, especially in East Africa, we're somehow eager about confronting the past, you know, especially when it comes to the arts. Do you feel like it's your responsibility to confront some of the historical injustices that happened to our ancestors?
Yes. I think, and that's the beautiful thing about not being a singer or being a poet. Like, a poet is given the freedom. All we are asked to do as poets is be a witness. And that's it. Like, I'm a witness of what I've experienced, and I'm a witness of what I see. And if you look historically, like in terms of art and culture, a poet very rarely goes to jail for being political.
It's true.
Because a poet is just a witness of the people. It's just a reflection of what's going on. If you want to know the heart of a people, listen to the poets, you know. The government cannot kill us. There's no politics that's going to dumb our voices down, because there will always be a voice of the people, right? So I don't really worry about that stuff. I mean, there was a time in Kampala with Poetry in Session where those things were like questionable, and maybe we'd get emails and asking if it was appropriate for us to host certain spaces. And our response was always just like, we're a space for young people to come and express themselves. So we don't manage what people are saying, and we're not going to criminalize them for expressing themselves. We're not here to hurt people. We're not here to harm people. We're just here to express a witness, you know. So I don't think it's my responsibility to think about what I put out in terms of like, if it's too political or not political. I think it's my responsibility to keep myself safe and authentic to the witness of what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
100% again.
Right? Like, I'm not going to go and jump into fire and get myself in trouble, but there is a way to stay authentically in your position.
So you're a witness. I like that word, witness. So in East Africa, we've been seeing things happening in the political space and civic engagements. In your previous elections in Kampala, very bloody. We also saw whatever happened in Tanzania. Kenya, as of now, our by-elections are very bloody. But we also saw, you know, massive demonstrations last year during the Gen Z. We call them the Gen Z Maandamano, due to the finance bill. So some say there's a sort of revolution going on. That's, you know, that is, and of course the youth of Africa and East Africa. It also happened in West Africa, by the way. So they are at the forefront of whatever's happening. What's your perception of everything that's going down in East Africa right now?
I think that actually, I would say that we look at what the young people in Kenya are doing right now as actually something to admire and look towards, right? Because you guys have actually, like, the way you guys, the Gen Z or whatever, have like come together and then actually mobilize themselves to say that we're not happy, and also that you're willing to fight for it. As Ugandans, we're really not always that willing to fight for things because we get shut down pretty quickly. So in terms of that side of politics, you know, Ugandans are a lot more complicit, and it's a lot it's difficult to tell you how to not be that way and keep yourself safe. So I feel when we're comparing like the three, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, you know, as Ugandans, we're a lot quieter when it comes to revolution. I don't think we're going to jump right into it. But I do feel, having been here though, because we know that, we hold each other at a community level a lot harder than I've seen here.
Really?
You know, whereas you guys here, it's like you've accumulated, you have this voice like lions, man, you just at the forefront of it. But the way you keep each other like on the base level of a community, it's a bit cold. Like, no one really know their neighbors sometimes, or like, I haven't felt the same thing. Like in Kampala, it's like, okay, well, it's not for being in the streets, right? But you'll always make sure your neighbors have, like, food is not a problem.
Oh, is it?
You know, like, food is not the issue. Like, let's help each other. So I feel like, politically it's like different. I actually think that a lot of the time, and it's everything and everywhere, your neighbor, the grass is always greener. But I feel that somehow, like, if we could take a little bit of the Kenyan youth's bravery.
And we can take a little bit of
you can take a little bit of our community.
But in Kenya, we're so capitalist, man. Like here, it's such an individualistic space. Everyone's somebody. We're so independent.
But yet at the same time, when you guys come together, it's fire. Like I've had so much fun just like having people just come together and like sing music together, like be in the vibe together.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about that the other night with my poetry friends where they were like, we were just discussing the differences between like the poetry scene here and the poetry scene there. And it's like here, there's so many more places to like be a poet, right? Position yourself. Like I'm on radio right now. And you know, how many times can I go on radio in Uganda on a poetry night? But there's a big poetry community. Like we love each other. If we say like, who is your poetry people? Like we know each other's gangs. We know each other's people. So it's like, even here, it's like there's so much more opportunity for poets to be successful here, to be heard, to be on radio. But there is a lack of just like, where do you all hang out? People should call in and tell me that. I'm trying to hang out with some poets, guys.
So there's a website called Eventbrite.
I think I'm on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So now you just need to have a look at all the conversations happening. There's too many central locations in Nairobi.
But this is the thing.
Yeah.
Did you see there's too many? Where do all of those people just come to hang out and recite some freaking poems together, guys?
What? There's a bunch of places. Like I know there's a poetry night at the village market tonight.
Tonight?
Where? There is. I can show you. I told you this is. I blame Binti. I have to blame Binti once again.
You gotta link us earlier. We need to be outside.
No, but we actually do have communities as well.
I would love to. So I would say that for me, just even being here, I'm blessed that I can be on radio.
Yeah, it's true.
And like, I really want to be a part. Like, if you're listening, poetry communities, Miss Karmali would love to be.
How long are you going to be in Nairobi for?
I'm only here until Monday.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
I'll be back. And anyone asked me to come back. I just need a reason and an excuse.
So now I'm giving you reasons. There's too many places to chill. So as we wrap up, what's the one thing that you would want to change and also not change when it comes to performance and poetry?
For me personally,
in East Africa.
East Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I would want to... Oh, gosh, there's a couple.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you two.
Okay. Two of each.
Yeah. One thing I want to change is, can we all start using the term poetry slam correctly? Can we just go online, get a book, read about what a poetry slam actually is, the point systems and how it works, right?
Yeah.
Would love that. Because I just feel like the young people of all East Africa... I love, sidebar, I love judging poetry competitions. Like, if you're 13 to 18, that's my jam. These young people are saying some feelings, but it's not a poetry slam, okay, guys, right? Or it's not an open mic if I can't come and sign up or something like that. So I'd love to change that, where people are actually... starting to see these things that have been created in poetry and actually using them instead of, because in East Africa, we have a way, they're fans, not funds. Like in Uganda, everyone's like, oh, my funds. I'm like, they're your fans out to have fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like those little things would really help.
Yeah.
I think too, I feel like the poets need to start actually doing something with their work. There's two different types of poets. There's a poet that writes for feelings, and you can do anything you want and you always write poetry, right? And then there are people who want to perform, and if you want to perform, you need to get up off your ass and make a show. You can't just have one of you and then start thinking about how your show flows. Who are you performing this for? It's not poetry is not just supposed to be about everyone looking for you. It's supposed to hold space.
Right.
So make something that you can move with and say, I have my next album is called Expressions of Grief. When it comes out, it's about grief, and it's not sad and it's not traumatizing, but it's we're poets. Go out and be who needs to hold all these Gen Z kids? They need this poetry. We need to be as a poet, you need to figure out who you are and why you're doing this, and take it to people. And it's not another form of music. It's not about just being seen or being heard. Poetry is like a doing word. So those are the things I would change. What are the other things? The things I wouldn't change? I wouldn't change any of the dope poets out there right now. I would not change a single one of them.
Right.
I think there's so much vastness from just cute babes talking about some stuff, dudes be being sensitive or just be being real. I think I wouldn't change that, because I think it's probably the biggest thing I've seen in like opening up young people to like feelings. Like I think especially young men.
Yeah, they need to be more vulnerable.
Don't quite often get to talk about like their feelings and shit like that. Oh, sorry. Or just like things that have happened to them as young people. I think poetry is an amazing way to do that. And I've been quite surprised at some of like the artists or creatives or people who are like men. Then they come and share something at poetry in session and you're like, okay, I see you. And it kind of like, it's, I wouldn't change that.
Brilliant. Yeah. What have you learned about yourself due to poetry over the years?
That I'm a badass.
I like that. What's badass anyway? Like what? Like you're fearless or what?
No, I think that, I believe in fearless knowledge of self. Like that's the fifth pillar of hip hop.
Yeah.
We're not going to pretend I didn't come from there. Like I think I'm quite a bold person. Like I say things that have to be said, and I'm quite a loud person. I get not loud, but like I'm present.
Yeah.
But inside myself, probably I'm quite a hard person to get to know. And I think my poetry is probably the most me, So I'm grateful because it's like a way of putting your truest self out.
Yeah.
But then like keeping yourself in.
Now I'm actually going to listen to your work again now that I've had this conversation because I want to know you visually now.
Oh my gosh. If you can get through my first album, which is deep, and then you can get through the second one, we could be friends.
Yeah.
I think, like Jay-Z said, that like someone asked him, they were saying like, would you rather a dinner or whatever?
Yeah.
And so someone was asking him
500,000
or something like that, right? And then he was like, why would you pick the dinner with me? Like everything is in the music.
It's true.
And so if you listen to my first album, you're asking questions about rituals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all in there. You want to know what a ritual is? It's like I have a poem called like it's like 21 degrees or whatever, but it's just basically about how you salute the morning, like when the night is leaving. Like, is this not when we go to pray? If you're Muslim, this is the time of prayer. It's just taking a moment to say like, what is happening in this exact moment in time? And so, I think poetry has given me a place to like be myself where words could not have explained what was going on in there.
Yeah, brilliant. I love that. Oh, and okay, final question. By the way, have you do you have details about your ancestors, like actual people? Do you know about them?
Yeah,
I'm just curious. Yeah.
Most of them, I reckon. Not most of them, but But then that's the journey. Like that's if I find out about them, babes, you won't invite me back here to talk about my next album.
I will. See, you said when are you coming back? Okay, but you tell me later on because I'm just curious, man. I found out stuff about my ancestor. About so this guy called Justo, he actually killed somebody, and I found that to be very interesting.
I mean, was he just or was he not? You can't just be talking about it. Like, what if he killed someone for a good reason?
No, it was for a good reason. Yeah, so
maybe you've got an ancestry of heroes, protectors.
He was a warrior. Maybe that's why I'm Kidogo strong.
There we go.
Yeah, it was actually ready to go. Anyway, so have you got any projects coming up?
No, this is my project coming up. So tomorrow we're going to be at Gecko Central on Garo Road.
Nice.
And it's a little venue. So if anyone is a poet or you've got your babe, you just want something tender, like just come out and have a listen. Anything to do with poetry, like I'm down.
What time is this?
Tomorrow we're opening at 7. My set is between 8, probably 8:30. But that's like strictly like at that time.
Good stuff. So that's a listening party that Binti's been talking about.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Sure.
Easy. So what's your contact info in case somebody wants to share your story?
My gosh. So just go to Instagram, Ms_Karmali.
Yeah.
And if you want to share anything, just all listening platforms. That's it. I'm only on Instagram.
Yeah.
I've been told I need to get on TikTok, but I need someone in Kenya to explain this TikTok thing to me because...
So I thought you guys in Kampala, you guys are about this vibe.
No, they really are.
Yeah.
They really are. I think it's just me. It's just me.
And they should show you around TikTok.
Yeah, no, because
apparently Kampala has like a bunch of users on TikTok.
They're killing it out there, but I can't be doing dances and stuff, so I just don't know where I fit in yet.
It's true.
I don't know where I fit in.
No. So anyway, so that's funny, yeah.
But yeah, you can follow me on TikTok too. I promise I'll do better.
Yeah. All right, so you want to drop a piece before I let you go?
Oh my God.
A very short one.
What? Okay, well, because you mentioned it, let's do cusp.
Yeah, cusp is dope.
Because it is short and sweet and cute. Do you know what it means? I'm just asking. What does it mean to be on the cusp? Do you know what
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, to be on the cusp, it's that moment. It's like that moment just before the moment where everything like sucks up into you and you're just like, oh shit, it's about to happen.
Right.
And then like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just like that little... like that sweet pain, you know?
The sweet spot when you're on the edge.
The sweet pain. The spot gets hit later, okay?
Right. Okay.
So this is cusp, on the cusp, waiting for the storm to pass. Feel the rim of the glass dig into plump thighs. Flirting. Dancing on the needle tip. Pressing the pin into your skin to keep a straight face. Kissing nettles to keep your tongue indoors up until the last moment. So that's the cusp.
Cheers. The one, the only Miss Karmali.
Yes.
What's that Ms about, by the way?
Ms, well, it means that I'm an unmarried older lady. Because, you know, in the English language, you're like Miss, right?
Yeah.
And Miss is a girl. You know, I'm not a girl. And then, like, when you're in school, an unmarried teacher is Ms., like MS.
True.
You know, with the S.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd spice it up to be Ms.
By the way, 1986 is not old.
Trust me. Okay, man of the patriarchy, as a woman, to be in, you know... to be my age and unmarried and, you know, like, it's kind of old. I don't want to be... Otherwise, they're going to call me a spinster.
That's true.
I'm no one's spinster. I'm Miss Karmali.
Hey, those Kampala guys have to be intentional.
Kampala guys. I hear Nairobi guys are where I should be looking.
That's your chop, man.
Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing some of that. I don't know. Where are they? You're like, that's the third
Binti,
place
you got to show my girl around. Hey, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
So let's